Hello, sweethearts, and welcome to Week 3 of the Let's Play Summer School 2. This week we're playing Castlevania The Adventure, or the Castlevania Adventure, whatever you want to call it, on the Konami GB collection, so it's in glorious color. That's about the only glorious thing about this game. People don't like it, probably for good reason, maybe, I don't know for sure. Let's get into it, why don't we? So, here's Christopher Belmont with his leather whip collecting coins. And now he has a chain whip, and it does twice the damage. That's great. You're gonna need it in this game. And you can upgrade that further to a whip that shoots fireballs. And the fireballs do as much damage as your leather whip, but they have range. And that's it as far as attacking goes. There are no sub-weapons in this game. No holy water, no cross, no nothing. Which a lot of people might be sore about, but really that's a minor complaint compared to the big two a lot of people have. But let's just take stock of this for a moment. Okay, it's 1989. Castlevania 2 is out, but Castlevania 3 isn't out just yet. It came out a little while after in Japan, and like 9 months after over here. So this is the last weird Castlevania game before they got their little formula down. Okay, Castlevania is a game where you platform through stages and you fight the mummy and Dracula and death and you've got sub-weapons. They don't have that down yet. I mean, Castlevania 2 was weird. I love it, but by God, it was weird. But this game, it's not as good. I mean, for one thing, Christopher Belmont is really, really slow. The Happy Video Game Nerd did a video where he had a hypothesis about this. That the original Game Boy screen had a lot of image bleeding, so they had to make the sprites slow so they would show up on the old screen or something. I don't know, I think I've had enough of this. I'm just gonna no-clip out of the game and try to get a wrong warp to the ending. Oh, shit, I just opened up a secret area by mistake. Ah! You got me! You got me, Castlevania The Adventure. I tried to cheap you out, but it didn't work. Oops. Well, we might as well enjoy the glorious color, even if some of the sprites are a little weird because this game wasn't designed with color in mind. I mean, look at those tree stumps. They're just square. Now, I don't know what it is about this game. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it is something I like in spite of itself, because this is just abhorrently designed. There's no good way to say it. All of its little design decisions just add up to make a really frustratingly bad game. Christopher Belmont being slow is one thing, but there's one more little wrinkle that we'll get to when we get to another level. But for now, let's enjoy the music, because at least that's good. But when you pair that slow walking speed with this sort of platforming, things get a little dicey. Especially when we come to this section. Now, I ask a question of all of you. Why is this segment here? It adds no challenge, other than jumping. Falling only penalizes you with time. It's a waste of your goddamn time. It's only there. There's no good reason for it to be there. I can't think of one other than to piss you off. Well, here's the first boss. You whip him. If you had the leather whip, it'd be a bit more difficult because the chain whip has a bit more reach. But, ooh, almost got hit there. That would have been very bad, but you can make short work of him. He's nothing. And that's stage 1 clear. Excellent. Yep, that point score sure is tallying up. Okay. On to the shit. Alright, these bats. Bats are annoying in Castlevania, but look at them. There is no good way to hit them. Oh, and, did you see? My fireball whip is gone. If you get hit in this game, your whip downgrades. Now, combine that with annoying enemies like these bats, and Christopher Belmont's really slow speed and no sub-weapons to hit anything, you're starting to see the problem. And it's only compounded by these enemies. The Punaguchis, the Spitters, what have you. They spit out this bouncy ball this really difficult to avoid bouncy ball with a huge ass hitbox that you can't get out of the way of, and if you get hit, you lose your whip upgrade. The game, starting from here, just fucking loves to throw these fuckers at you. And I hate it. At least this enemy's kind of cool. He's got this little boomerang. He's kind of like an axe armor, except he's more like a sickle knight or something. But by God, those spitters. I hate those spitters. You see it here. It's just... if you don't move the right way, you're getting hit, and you're losing your whip upgrade. Oh, and when you lose your whip upgrade and go down to the leather whip, these things take 4 hits to kill. Perfect. Just perfect. The game is basically kicking you while you're down here. And I'm not fond of it. Like, now you'll see the shit coming in. So now you just have to wait this out and move. But if you're pimp, you can manage to do something like this. That was skillful. That is actually an anomaly. Something like that only happens when you're really lucky. Most of the time you're just going to get hit and take further damage. Now this eyeball section's interesting because you saw in level 1 the eyeballs explode when you hit them. But if you hit them while you're on the bridge, you actually take out part of the bridge. I don't want to do that, so my strategy here is just dodging the eyeballs and keeping as many on screen as I can. Try to get a little sprite limitation going so they throw less eyeballs at me. It seems to work. Like if I was destroying the ones coming at me from the back, sometimes the eyeballs would come 2 in a pair from the front and they'd be impossible to dodge, but doing this, that doesn't really happen. I don't know. It works, so I might as well do it. Other than that, this section isn't really much. There were 2 in a row there, but they really pile them like close together if you don't do that strategy, so it's a pain in the ass. There's like a 1-up in that candle over here, but it's like very difficult to get to. One other thing I should mention, there is a patch that fixes some of the problems of this game, makes you walk faster and whatnot, but the problem is that the game wasn't designed for that, so it kind of makes it too easy. Oh, and another secret area. Just get some goodies. Thank you, Nintendo Power Game Boy Player's Guide. You're a real pal. Go to hell, Punaguchi. You're not a pal. I'm just gonna wait out when the ball goes down. When the balls go down, and I can get my little vantage point here. Just gotta watch it like bounce. Okay, that one's coming down. So I almost got hit by that, but that would have been bad. But it's okay. It's just fine. We're getting near the end of the level here, and thank God for it too. But also not, because stage 3 is a nightmare to all its own. No spitters. It manages to be a nightmare without any spitters, so that's good. That's really good. But it's not so good. Stage 3, but let's not worry about that, and let's fight these things. I used to think they were frogs, but it makes much more sense for them to be moles, because you were underground in a cave. That being said, the Konami GB collection here colored them fucking green, so that would only confuse me further. What are they, frogs? And they hop. They just jump down like this and hop around everywhere like frogs! How can you blame me for thinking they were frogs? I mean, they act very frog-like in appearance. With the Flame Whip, they're trivial. You just stand here and do things. That was me fucking up the button input. Sometimes this game eats your inputs, and sometimes I'm an idiot and I don't hit the button too hard enough, so there you go. I don't know. They're almost done. Just any time now. Frog, moles, things, okay. Over 10,000 points? Wow, I'm gonna send this high score into Nintendo Power. Oh, that's the second Nintendo Power mention in a while. Jesus, they're dead. I'm not gonna get no scores. Here we go. Stage 3. The Run Killer. The destroyer of worlds and feelings. This level. Okay, this first section ain't so bad. You just hit these things and stop the spike ceiling from crushing you. That's a simple gimmick. That's fine. Get used to spikes because this level's full of them, but if the level was just this, increasing the difficulty a little, that would be okay. But it's not. It gets so much worse than this. I mean, they've already sort of run out of their gimmick. They don't even have any enemies in this section. It's just spikes. And thank God for it, too, because oh my god. Alright, we're done with the spike section here, with the spike walls coming down at you. And here's the shit right here, okay. You make this rather tricky jump, and then the spikes come up from the floor, and we've got an auto-scroll. Now, remember what I said about Chris Belmont being slow as shit? This section, you have to do perfectly while getting past these worms. Now, you hit the worms with your chain whip, that's fine. But let's say you died and you only had the leather whip, or you hit them with the fireball. If you only do 1 damage to them, they take 2 hits to kill. If you only do 1 damage to them, they roll up and they move around. They move back towards the wall and then they ricochet back towards you. And that'll probably hit you again. So that makes it all the more difficult because you're trying to save as much time as possible because you're slow as molasses and this spike wall is coming. You have to be immaculate. You have to be damn immaculate with your jumping. You need to know how far you need to go up these ropes in order to clear the jumps. And you just need to be absolutely perfect on your button presses. And this is really tricky because if you have the flame whip, the fireball can actually hit that second worm and pinball him down and hit you and then, ooh, that's bad. It's a tense section. It's also completely trivialized by that patch I mentioned earlier that makes you move faster, because you can just, oh, I could just move all across this, no problem, and it's no challenge whatsoever. They made a really difficult section. I don't know why they did this. It's incredibly difficult and incredibly hard, and I keep saying that it's difficult, but it really is. There's no easy way to say it. It's shit. It's just shit. And the fact that I've managed to be able to clear it is, frankly, a miracle. But it took a lot of learning. And those falling platforms, you pretty much have to hit jump as soon as your feet graze them. Or else you're going down. But that's the end of the vertical section. That's it. So, hooray for that! Now dodge the spikes coming at you from the right! And you know they hate you because they put these little zigzags in to make you waste time. Yeah. Oh, they're bad. And more worms because why not? I mean, you want to have a chance for them to pinball towards you. God help you if you have the leather whip here. You're going to get hit. And that'll eat up more time. It's not so bad when you're walking. You can kind of outrun it. But the problem comes from climbing the ropes. You got to make these sequential rope jumps. And because you're so slow and you have such a low jump arc, you basically have to climb to the top of every rope in order to just get the bottom of the next rope. They're spaced out just that much, and that eats up a lot of time, and you see the spike wall is gaining. Very bad. The only other difficult sections here are this jumping bit, and then one more walking section. Yeah, you really gotta be on your tippy toes to get past this. But if you think that's bad, well, ooh, here's some more of the slime people. Apparently they're mudmen, but again, they're friggin' green. Mud ain't green. Slime is green. So there you go. Once you get through this big zigzag hallway and climb up this rope, you're in the clear. Heh, see you, spikes. And here's another advantage the color version had. You see that blue wall? Yeah, that's secret, but you couldn't tell that in monochrome, but you can totally tell here. And it's helpful if you did die during the spike section. I'm antsy climbing up these ropes because I'm afraid something's going to jut out and stab me in the face. But now we're at the boss. So that was the level. All of that auto-scroll shit was the level. The boss itself, not so bad, really. He does have this annoying tendency to just sort of hover around and not do much. And he likes to hang out over on this side. He picks a side, usually. I've had him stay on the left side, but now he's staying on the right side, and that's annoying to say the least. But I can hit him. I can get rid of him. Come on. There. Perfect. By the way, we're 75% of the way through the game. This is only 4 levels. They compensated by making all 4 levels hard as shit. So, there's that. 20,000 points. Not bad. Not bad. So we're going to call it here at the gates of Dracula's lair. So this has been week 3. It's Castlevania The Adventure. I kind of like it, but it is kind of bullshit. So I guess see you next time and whatnot. Whoa, that's a night. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.